Benny Blanco from the Bronx Carbon White. I am right back with a football video, and this time, you know what it is. I know I am repping my Arsenal here, but representing the motherland. Yeah. So today we are going to talk matters CHAN. Yeah. This is the BTEC AFCON. This is where you get to have a tournament that only focuses on local players. Those are players that play in your local league, not abroad, not across the border, overseas, or anywhere. It's just local based players. And this one is being hosted by the 3 East African countries. That's Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania, the original East African community, the OG EAC community. Yeah. And Kenya is hosting all of their group matches will be played in Kenya. In Uganda also, that's the same for the Uganda Cranes, and also for the Taifa Stars in Tanzania. They'll be also hosting their entire group in Tanzania. Now, for this particular tournament, if Kenya finishes top, fingers crossed, if Kenya finishes top of the group and Tanzania finishes second in their group, then Kenya will host Tanzania in the next round here in Kenya. Yeah. But if the opposite happens, that Tanzania tops in their group and Kenya finishes second, then Tanzania will host Kenya in Tanzania for the next knockout phase. So for the group stage, we have 4 groups, A, B, C, and D. Group E, not E, there is no group E. Group D has 4 teams. It's a 19 team tournament, and one group lacks one team. So for them, it's just a few matches and they're done. For the rest of the groups, and especially the group where Kenya is and that of Tanzania, it's 5 teams. So also trying to look at the tournament itself and the structure, we have talked about why this one is different from AFCON. Yes, it only focuses on local based players. And some news that have developed, I think it caught steam yesterday, was our star boy Bajaber, who was called up to the national team but can't feature in the AFCON, not in the AFCON, in the CHAN team this time round, because he has been bought by Simba SC, and Simba is a Tanzanian-based team which is currently on tour in the Middle East, I suppose. And I tend to think that this is quite ni kama wametuseti, and for this particular one, it seems as if Bajaber was given an ultimatum on when to report to camp, or else the deal is probably off or something. And you can never knock off a player for wanting to play for a certain team out there. So you do not want to jeopardize that, because there's a future after CHAN. And of course we have our local players who can probably fill in the boots, but that would be that is my brother passing, trying to wewe. Anyway, ukinini pita tu kawaida. Yeah, so what I'm trying to say is that he's ineligible to play, and this is a test, and especially for the African teams to get to have a test of the strength of the leagues in the continent. So the stronger your league, the higher your chances of winning the tournament. Now Senegal is the current title holders. I am not quite sure about their national league because I don't quite think maybe they have like elite names within the African club continental tournaments. But of course, football is a humbler. It can teach you many things. You never know what happens. But then again, even here within the region, for me personally, I'd consider Tanzania to be quite, not really the tournament favorites, but within Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania, it feels as if they are well poised to go a bit further. One, because of the strength of their league, which of course, from a personal perspective, I consider the Tanzanian league a bit superior than Kenya and Uganda. The other thing, on paper, they have a favorable group. Now for Kenya, we are in the group of death, and maybe just to go through some of the teams so that I may not probably butcher this. So in Group A, we are in Group A together with Angola, with DR Congo, Morocco, and Zambia. So that's Zambia, Morocco, Kenya, DR Congo, and Angola. And then Group B, we have got Burkina Faso, we have Central African Republic, we have Madagascar, Mauritania, and Tanzania. And then in Group C, there's Algeria, we have Guinea, we have Niger, we have South Africa, we have Uganda. And then in Group D, which has 4 teams, we have Congo, that's Congo Brazzaville, we have Nigeria, we have Senegal, we have Sudan. That's there's South Sudan and there's Sudan. So ideally, in terms of the placement on the African map, it's supposed to be north, but they don't call themselves North Sudan, so it's just Sudan. Yeah, so when I was talking about Kenya, we kick off the first match on the 3rd of August at the Moi International Sports Center, Kasarani, from 3 p.m. Now, according to CAF, Kasarani's capacity is supposed to be 48,000, but we keep getting this figure of 55,000 as the capacity. Now, the good thing is that the tickets are sold out. So even if we are in the group of death, one thing that we can take advantage of is the knowledge of the pitch that we have. But I don't know if we have played enough or tested the ground to know what to expect now that it's refurbished. And then the other thing is that we are the home team, so the crowd should really pull the team and make sure it pushes the team even further to move quite ahead. And Kenya can really pull surprises, especially considering that we have faced bigger teams within the continent, and of course in tournaments or in matches where even foreign-based players are allowed to play, and we have pulled off surprises against the Black Stars of Ghana, against the Lions of the Indomitable Lions of Cameroon, against who we have also played quite well sometimes when we face off with Nigeria. And for me, I'd consider that as an advantage for us. And also considering that this is our first time within the tournament and we want to give a good showing in the tournament, then we really need to turn up. Yeah, and you never know who's watching. You know, some of these players use these tournaments to rise to the occasion, so that maybe if there's a scout around, they can also be scouted. Yeah, so the other thing to take note of is the way maybe in terms of the fanfare. So right now in Kasarani there is like over a kilometer buffer zone where fans are not supposed to be within that vicinity. So all the football is happening in the stadium. I think this is for security reasons, and even if you want to be a vendor. So something that I have learned today, that all vendors have been secured by Chan. So not unless you are a partner with Chan, then you cannot do any vending within the stadium. So every other thing is supposed to happen like over a kilometer away from the stadium. So all is set. As I had mentioned, the tickets are sold out for the first game, which is happening this coming Sunday, and we hope to have a good tournament. Personally, I think it's a good strategy when you're having a number of nations hosting the tournament, because when Egypt was hosting, you'd realize that they had like 4 stadiums that hosted the entire tournament. And in Kenya, let's say in the upcoming AFCON, Nairobi itself will have 3 that should be able to also host around 3 groups. Yeah. And then you still have Tanzania, you still have Uganda. For me it's very cost effective, it's very strategic, so that we do not have wasted funds, wasted infrastructure. When you have a look at past tournaments, and especially in the World Cup, in South Africa, in Brazil, in Qatar, so you have these new big fancy stadiums that have been built, and then after the tournament they just remain empty, dilapidated, they can't be maintained, and especially with the local teams. So what happens after the tournament? But when you have, let's say, like fewer that you can be able to manage, then you know that at least they'll be put into good use, rather than them remaining as like ghost towns. So I think that's very wonderful that it's across nations kind of tournament, which is really, really good. What else? We look at the stadiums themselves, they are ready. In Kenya having Nyayo Stadium, and Kasarani. In Tanzania having the Benjamin Mkapa Stadium, also having this new stadium in Arusha. I forget the names of these stadiums, especially in Tanzania and in Uganda. Usually when I come to do this video, I have crammed those names, but really they evade me when I really need them. But in Uganda we have Nambole Stadium, which is also referred to as the Nelson Mandela Stadium. That's the bigger one, the famous one. So at least we have three stadiums that will be hosting this tournament. Tanzania, of course, will be hosting the opening ceremony in Dar es Salaam in the Benjamin Mkapa Stadium. Kenya will be hosting the final at Kasarani, and then Uganda will be hosting as the second runners-up match. So we look forward to a great tournament. So all those stadiums are ready, seats refurbished and all that. Now ni mbwembwe tu imebaki. Yeah, so we expect to see quite an exciting tournament. Now the question just remains, and especially towards the fans. Yeah, how can we be able to make this tournament worthwhile? How can we make it make sense to us? What opportunities are there to be grabbed, and especially within the local football scene? It doesn't necessarily have to be just about developing the talent alone. Of course, that's the key priority, but also within the football ecosystem, how can we benefit as a country and post the tournament, and also looking forward to AFCON, which we will be hosting in 2027. What is it that we can leverage upon for us to have a meaningful tournament, and also post-tournament, the aftermath of the tournament? In Kenya, there's a thriving content creation industry, which I expect to rise to the occasion. This is the time for them to be able to showcase what Kenya has to offer, and especially the fanfare, the tournament itself, what content can come out of CHAN and also be broadcasted on a global stage, not necessarily just by the legacy media and broadcasters that are there. Are we able to blow this across the continent and even outside the continent? In Kenya, I don't know about Tanzania, but in Kenya, KBC will be streaming these games live. So for those who haven't gotten their tickets and they want to see the matches, of course, I expect that there would be some kind of watch parties or fan zones where huge screens are placed for people to watch the tournament. But if you want to view it at the comfort of your home, then KBC Channel 1 will be broadcasting CHAN. So we expect that to happen. I don't know, maybe even from a government point of view, maybe the kind of restrictions that could probably exist. Is it possible now for the government to also give people an opportunity to also take advantage of CHAN for them to also better themselves? I don't know. Also market Nairobi, the green city under the sun, as a destination for the world to come and see, not only even just for the wildlife in the Nairobi National Parks or maybe other tourist destinations also, but even as a sporting hub within the continent. If people want to have a good time, is Nairobi the place to be? Yeah, and then I heard from somewhere, even from the Nairobi County government, that probably Nairobi CBD would also probably transform into a 24-hour economy. I thought it was, if you ask me, but of course a lot of things close at a certain time, and also probably many others remain open, but we hope that a lot of things, there will be vibrancy within the city as we await for CHAN. So I am ready. Of course, I'll be attending the match on Sunday against Dr. Congo, and we hope to have a really good time out there. And of course, we will be sharing the outcomes of the match, what we learned, what we expect in the next match, probably what we liked, what we didn't, any reactions from myself, from people I know about football enthusiasts, fanatics, and all that jazz. Yeah, so CHAN is here with us, and we expect to have a really good time. Yeah, so as we look forward to it, of course, expect a lot of content that is about CHAN and about Harambee Stars, the Kenyan national team. Till next time, see you.